Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to go over everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for May 2022. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, in this video, I will be going over my Blu-ray and 4K shopping haul for May 2022. If you are a regular collector, especially of the 4K format, you know that May was absolutely huge. There were a ton of new releases, and thankfully things calm a little bit in June and to a degree July. Well, the first half of July, back half, there's a lot. But, you know, the point being, it's a great time to be a physical media collector, especially, I would say, even for 4K fans. There is a lot coming out in the next several months, so yeah, May was just kind of the kickoff of that heavy haul next couple of months, but yeah, I like it. It's a good problem to have, so alright, so yeah, for this month, I focused a lot on new releases. There were a couple catalog titles, mostly Blu-ray, that has been sitting on my wish list that I decided to pull the trigger on finally. And let's not waste any time. Let's go over one of those catalog titles is in fact Public Enemies, of course, directed by Michael Mann, starring Johnny Depp and Christian Bale. This one, I used to have it in my collection a long time ago. I had to sell it way back then, long story for that, but I wanted to re-buy it and put it in my collection. And of course, it was also one of those that was sitting there for a while, and I'm like, is it going to get a 4K? And then, of course, you get tired of waiting. One day, a 4K could arrive for this, and I will be happy to upgrade. But in the meantime, I've been wanting to watch this again. So, yeah, Public Enemies is on the buy list. This was a new release, and this, once again, there was confusing information whether we were getting a 4K edition or not. Like, it went up for a listing, and then went down, and then supposedly internationally it's going to get it, and there's still word that it may show up again. And this is a 24 after all, so I would not be 100% surprised if like it was an A24 shop exclusive or not. And that is X, directed by Ty West. This was a complete blind buy, but I watched it, loved it. It's a really old school horror film, and I really dig it. And it made me want to see the new one, the prequel coming out, Pearl. I'm hopeful that we get a 4K. I would gladly upgrade it if that was the case. But yeah, just off the film, it's awesome. So yeah, check out X, especially if you're a horror fan of like the 70s. It's going to be right up your alley. This was another catalog title, $5 or so. And this one I have absolutely no reason to believe a 4K will come because of the studio, and that is Armageddon. I've been wanting to revisit this one for a while, so I will be doing so. So Armageddon I picked up this month. This was another one that I, oddly enough, have never seen. And then a lot of people were like, look, you're a film guy. You want a movie, of course, it's directed by Martin Scorsese, that celebrates film. And I watched it like a week ago. Wow, I was blown away. And that is Hugo. Scorsese really is a master of his craft. Such a good movie. It really is good. I might do this as a recommendation for that video coming up. But yeah, Hugo, if you've never seen it and you are a Martin Scorsese fan, check it out. This one has been on a lot of people's want list for a Blu-ray edition for years. I will say decades at this point. Finally got released from Shout Factory, and that is The Ghost in the Darkness. Very happy to have a physical copy of this movie. I will be watching it in the next week or so. It's been a while. I think it's been since the DVD days that I watched it. So yeah, Ghost in the Darkness, now available from Shout Factory. Check that out. This one is another one from Shout Factory, came out in May, and this is an old school comedy, funny as hell. Val Kilmer in Top Secret. What can I say? If you liked Airplane, and you know, you have to watch this. It is brilliant. It still holds up well today. It is hysterical. Yeah, I love it. It's just amazing. So yeah, check out Top Secret. This one was a new release I decided to give a chance on because I heard some good things and I watched it and it was really good. That is Channing Tatum in Dog. I'm a dog lover. Of course, I have two of my own, and I like movies that feature dogs that don't die. And it was funny to read that this is nothing spoilery, but you know, Channing Tatum only agreed to do the movie if the dog didn't die. So rest assured, dog lovers, you could watch this. I thought it was decent. It's you know, it's a road trip movie, but I think they handled it very well, and I think Channing Tatum did a good job, and he had a good chemistry with the dog on screen. So yeah, I would watch this one. So check that out. This one was a blind buy. I just wanted to, you know, every once in a while I get something blind buy. I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things. The Cursed, like I said, I can't tell you too much about it. I haven't seen it, but I'll probably be giving it a view in the next week or two. Yeah, check it out, The Cursed. Speaking of The Cursed, now we have the Wes Craven Cursed on Blu Ray, which came out from Shout Factory, Screen Factory. I saw this one about a week or two ago. It's fine. I mean, it's funny because I never saw this one in the theater, and I think I saw this on cable a long time ago, and that was the last time I ever watched it. So I revisited it on Blu Ray. The transfer is really good. And, you know, if you like a good Wes Craven werewolf flick, good, you know, actors and actresses in this, yeah, check it out. It's really, you know, that kind of movie. And then this one was one of my favorite films of 2021. I know the director has a thing for 4K releases, so I kind of went into this just getting a physical copy on Blu-ray. Of course, it is 4K on digital, so go figure. That is Licorice Pizza. I absolutely love this film. It's one of those movies that just brought a smile to my face from start to finish. It's excellent. It really is. If you're a Paul Thomas Anderson fan, I can't speak highly enough of, you know, what he was able to put here on screen. It's awesome. And, you know, I'm going to be rewatching it very, very shortly. But, yeah, I love this movie. And once again, one of my favorites of 2021, finally out on physical media.
I want to take a quick moment to talk about Moviepalette.com. Over at Moviepalette, they have thousands of films with a unique look, breaking down a film frame by frame, presenting it with a corresponding color, putting them together in one unique piece of art. They have many of the latest releases, such as The Batman, films like Titanic, Spider-Man No Way Home, Alien, and thousands more are available to choose from. For me, I opted as my first piece, Blade Runner 2049. As I am a big fan of the film, I could easily point out moments in the film on the piece. If you're interested in seeing for yourself, head over to Moviepalette.com and scroll through your favorite films and see what speaks to you. Viewers of the channel can get an extra 15% off by using the promo code MovieGuy15 in the checkout. Head on over to Moviepalette.com and see your favorite movies in a new way.
As I said, there were a ton of 4K Blu-ray releases. Great time to be a collector for the format. And honestly, there was a couple disappointing ones in there, which I'll talk about. And I also went over in my respective reviews for those titles. But yeah, I think this was a great month, and I'm looking forward to the future. Once again, lots to celebrate here. Wild Things from Arrow Video, really decent transfer, looks beautiful. And it's been a number of years since I've seen this one, but I think, you know, if you're a fan of the film, I do highly recommend it. And I did a review for the channel, so check that one out if you're interested. This was one I've seen once before. I never owned a copy of it, but I was like, hey, it came out on 4K, why not? And that is Smokin' Aces. It's a great ensemble crime drama. And also it has a really early appearance from Chris Pine, who I thought was just great in it. There's, you know, it's a typical crime drama, a little bit of action thrown in there. But what really I think makes this good is just the witty dialogue and the characters and their interactions, and the overall plot is just, it's silly, but it works. And, you know, it's currently available only as a steelbook, I believe, as of right now. So yeah, Smokin' Aces, check that one out if you get a chance. There were a ton of Alfred Hitchcock releases from Universal. Of course, they released the Volume 2 set, but I'm an individual collector, so I like my individual releases on my shelf. So the first one was Shadow of a Doubt. I just watched this one recently, about a week or so ago. Great transfer, awesome story. It's funny because I hear a lot of people saying that the Volume 2 collection had a lot of like B-level Hitchcock stuff, and I kind of disagree with that. I mean, there's a lot of bigger named, you know, movies out there. Of course, Psycho is iconic, and North by Northwest, but I think these are equally awesome. And, you know, a lot of them, a little bit more than others, but I think they're really strong. And Shadow of a Doubt is absolutely fantastic. It's probably my favorite of the 5 that came out. But yeah, Shadow of a Doubt, yeah, watch that one. Get it on 4K. This one I haven't watched on 4K yet, but I've seen the movie. Saboteur, I'm anxious to see what the transfer is on this. The other three that I've watched from the collection have all been great. I expect no different from this one. This one's on my list for the next week or two. So yeah, Saboteur on 4K from the latest Hitchcock. The Trouble with Harry. This is awesome. This is, you know, it's a little bit of a mystery, but it's more of a comedy thrown in there. And it has, I believe, the first on-screen appearance from Shirley MacLaine. I always forget if it's this one or it's another one. But this one is great. I mean, Alfred Hitchcock tackling dark humor. Awesome film. And the fall colors in this movie look breathtaking on 4K. So yeah, the HDR on this, top notch. So yeah, check out The Trouble with Harry. It's very amusing, and it's got your typical Hitchcock flair and witty dialogue. This is another one. This is the first one I watched from the new collection, or the new releases. The Family Plot. Great, you know, cat and mouse kind of a story. And it's also got people on here that I wouldn't classify as heroes. Like, there's really no heroes, but there's two groups going against each other, and one's less, you know, villainous than the other. But it works. This is also looks beautiful. The color is fantastic. And it has also got, I think, the one and only time John Williams did the music for a Hitchcock film. So yeah, watch Family Plots on 4K. And the last from the Alfred Hitchcock releases, Marnie. Believe it or not, I've seen this one years ago. I don't remember too much about it, but I wanted to add this to my collection, and I'll be rewatching this one probably this weekend. But yeah, Marnie on 4K. These are all the films that have come out from the latest from Universal. And you know, if you want the box set, it is absolutely there for you to pick up. But yeah, Marnie on 4K from Universal. Speaking of Universal, also this past month, the individual releases of the Jurassic Park films came out. And of course, me being an individual collector, I have had the box set for a while because that was the only way you could pick up the movies from the Jurassic franchise. But I decided to plop the extra money down and get the individuals, so I won't spend too much time on them. Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, and Jurassic World. I already have Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom on individual release. So yeah, not too much to say about it. I'm anxious. I know the new movies just came out actually as of today of the recording. Heard really not great things about it, but I will be making the judge for myself, and I'll probably be adding the next film to the collection. So yeah, those are now available for those interested in individual releases. This release came from Paramount, and it's absolutely beautiful on 4K. The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. I love a good John Ford Western, and this was also the first release from the Paramount's Presents line in 4K. I'm very hopeful we get more titles like this from them. This looked fantastic, awesome. I did a full review for it on the channel if you want to see that. And yeah, John Wayne, James Stewart, awesome. Really, I can't speak highly enough of this one because it is a great Western, and it's, you know, of course, there's a lot of modern Westerns or even regular non-Westerns that have taken a lot of, you know, from this film. It's really, I think it sets a benchmark for, there's a lot of influence that came out of this. So yeah, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance is now out on 4K. This was also one of those movies that I kind of like the sequel more than the original. And we finally got the sequel, and that is Beverly Hills Cop 2. Once again, I did a review on the channel for that. Loved it. It still holds up. It's great. The 4K looks awesome, and it's worth picking up for yourself. This one came out from the Shout Factory line. Good transfer. This was out from Studio Canal internationally for years, but we finally have it here in the States, and that is Escape from New York. Great looking, you know, 4K. It's not, of course, it's a very dark movie, so you can only do so much here. But I think the improvements over the Blu Ray are really noticeable, and I did a review for the channel, so watch that one for more. And this was also released from Shout Factory, Scream Factory. Unfortunately, there's some issues with the bit rate. It varies wildly throughout the film. That is the craft. I will say though, when the bit rate it's high, this movie looks fantastic. But there's way too many dips in quality. I know Shout Factory is aware of it. Whether they do something about it, it is not to be determined as of right now. But and revisiting it as the movie, it had been a few years, and I like it. I think it really still stands out. And actually, if anything, I like it a little more now than I did back then. So, yeah, hopefully Shout Factory will work on a replacement, because there's really no reason for that whole thing. But yeah, Craft, I recommend it, except maybe wait and see on picking this one up. Shout Factory Screen Factory was really busy on 4K releases this month, and what they have coming in the future also it's a lot to get excited about. I'm very happy that they've embraced the format, even more so this year than it seems in past. And this one came out from director Tobe Hooper, and has Life Force. It's funny because I saw this one years ago, and I thought it was okay. And then I watched the director's cut, and that I felt was a little bit better version. So I got excited that a 4K release was coming out, but unfortunately only the theatrical cut is in 4K, and the director's cut is it's on a Blu Ray included in the set. So it's, I did a full review of it. I think the transfer looked great, and fans of the film, especially the theatrical cut, will be very happy indeed. Once again, Shout Factory Screen Factory, Candyman, the originals, holds up very well, and it's also got a very impressive Atmos track. I think that they knocked this one right out of the park. It looks beautiful, and it's worth revisiting, because I think this one, and of course, they've made deteriorating sequels since then, but the original, absolutely fantastic. And a couple other additions. Once again, back to the whole box set thing. Paramount released the Jack Ryan collection a few years ago. So they started trickling out the individual releases, starting with Hunt for Red October, which I picked up, and then this month was Patriot Games, and this is my personal favorite of the Jack Ryan films. I don't know why, I just really like this one. I love Harrison Ford in the role, and I'm looking forward to watching the 4K edition. So yeah, Patriot Games. And of course, they also released the Ben Affleck Jack Ryan film, The Sum of All Fears. I saw this one years ago. I thought it was okay. I'm going to be revisiting this one for the first time in about a decade. So I'm hopeful, maybe my thoughts on it will improve. But I wanted to add this into my collection because, I am a Jack Ryan fan, the character. So yeah, I will be watching this one very, very shortly. This was also a release where Warner Brothers released the Blu Ray last year, I believe, late last year. And they didn't do it a day and date with the 4K. And of course, shenanigans. They released it as a mod title, and that is Malignant. I'll be watching this one again. I didn't do a review or anything for it, but the only way you can pick this one up is online. So if you held off on the getting the Blu-ray and you want the 4K, it is available, but Amazon has it, and I believe Best Buy also. Unfortunately, it's not in stores, so I'm hoping the 4K improves the picture. I'm sure it will. So I'll be checking that one out again very shortly. This one I saw a long time ago. I honestly don't remember too much about it, but I am a fan of musicals, and I do want to support musicals on 4K, because if we send the message out that we get those, then more will arrive. But that is 1776. I'm going to be watching this around 4th of July holiday, so I know it has two or three different versions of the film on here, so I'll pick one, watch it, enjoy it. I like a good historical musical, if that makes any sense. But yeah, 1776 is now on 4K. This one was probably my most impressive release this month. And of course, I'm a Steelbook collector, so I get the Steelbook. That is The Batman. Did a full review for it. Fantastic looking and sounding disc. This, in my opinion, is like the benchmark as to why a physical 4K release will just beat streaming any day of the week. Because when I streamed this, the audio, quite frankly, was garbage. It was. But you plug in the 4K, beautiful. Beautiful. The audio is just magnificent in this, especially that Batmobile chase scene was great. I will demo that scene to anybody, but it's just great. Yeah, so yeah, and it doesn't matter which version you get. I know they came out with a couple different options on 4K, but the Batman, awesome. It's probably going to make my mid-year best of 4K list. Just saying, throwing that out there. But yeah, it is now available from Warner Brothers. And we got some great stuff from Kino Lorber this month as well. A Fistful of Dollars. I really enjoyed it. I think the transfers on all three films vary. Some better than others. I think Fistful benefited the most, and it looks great. Of course, they don't support any HDR, which is very unfortunate. But I think, they fixed that brownish, yellowish tints from the previous releases, which is by itself a fantastic thing. And I think the movie looks great, and I highly recommend the film just on its own. Sergio Leone westerns are just awesome stuff. So yeah, this is now available on 4K, and the sequel obviously for a few dollars more. Just a little bit of a problem here and there with some of the definition. I know they use a couple different sources for putting this together. But I think it's still worth the upgrade. It is great looking, and there's a lot to enjoy. And it's also my personal favorite of the trilogy. I love The Good, and the Bad, and the Ugly. It's very epic. So yeah, that one is. But this one, I think I love the dynamic with Clint Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef. Great, and it really holds up. So yeah, for a few dollars more is now available from Kino. Criterion threw out a movie on 4K this month. Double Indemnity, one of my favorite Billy Wilder films, one of my favorite film noirs, and the 4K edition is fantastic. If you love this film, look into getting this. The Criterion sale from Barnes & Noble, 50% off, is right around the corner. It's coming in just a few weeks, so hold out. But I do recommend you add this to your list if you want a great 4K edition of this classic mystery. Well, it's less of a mystery, it's a thriller, I'll say that. But yeah, I love it. It's awesome, and it's so good. It really is good. But check out Double Indemnity. This one also is one of those movies that it had a couple stigma attached to it, being a video game movie, and of course there was some somewhat negative word of mouth when it came out. I didn't see it in the theater. This was a complete blind buy. Uncharted. Just, full disclosure, I've never played the games, ever. I'm aware of the games, I'm aware of the characters, but I think going into this movie, without all that weighing me down, made me enjoy it more. I thought it was decent. I'm still not 100% sold as Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I could have pictured a couple other actors in that role, but like I said, I don't think because I'm hugely invested in the games that, I think that did help me watch this. And I thought it was decent. I thought it was fine. I liked it. I will definitely be rewatching this again. And I did a review on the channel if you want to hear my thoughts on the 4K disc of Uncharted. This was another release, came out from Paramount, and one of my favorite De Palma movies, The Untouchables. Awesome cast, and I think it's a very good looking 4K, and it's a nice Atmos upgrade. So yeah, watch this one. I think it looks better than the previous formats, hands down, and it's worth picking up on either as a steelbook or as a standard edition. So yeah, check that one out very soon for yourself. This was the latest from the Disney Pixar, film library, Turning Red. I didn't do a review for the channel. I was actually away on vacation that week, and I didn't think a lot of people would be interested in a review anyway, so I just kind of, just let it go. But I watched it. I thought it was like mid-tier Pixar. I thought it was good, not great, but it has awesome animation, and I do like the characters a lot and the story. So I think just connecting to me on a level was just where I was not, really there. But I think it was a fun movie, and I'll definitely be revisiting this one very shortly. Turning Red on 4K. And the last couple releases this month that I picked up for 4K was from Shout Factory. Once again, they've been very busy. That is the original Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. I like the first one a lot more. The second one was okay. But then I have to put a little bit of headcanon in this one to kind of make it really more enjoyable. But I think both versions look great on the formats. Worth the upgrade. It sucks we didn't get slipcovers for this. That's really unfortunate. I would have liked that. Yeah, these are now available from Shout Factory, Screen Factory. So if you're fans, definitely pick these up on 4K. So that is everything I picked up on Blu Ray and 4K for May 2022. If you're interested in any of these titles, I will put an Amazon link in the comments section, and if you use it, it really helps out the channel. But I also want to hear from you. What did you pick up in May 2022, and what are you looking forward to coming in the next few months? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.